What is up, everybody? It is Alex the Boogeyman coming at you back from the grave for another focus point of the week. And when we talk about horror movies, no other genre has more sequels than horror movies. Every single horror movie, pretty much from the 80s on, has a sequel. Even movie franchises you've never heard before have sequels. And in almost every case, all the sequels are worse than the original. There are a couple examples maybe where that's not true. Friday the 13th Part 2, definitely better. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, best one, although it's still a terrible movie, terrible franchise, don't like Nightmare on Elm Street. But anyway, how does this all relate to boxing? What am I talking about? Because in boxing we have sequels too. Well, sorta. I'll call them sequels. So what we're gonna do this week is throw at least two, maybe three, maybe four of the same punch over and over again in a combo. At least two in a row, maybe more. We're gonna make our sequels good though. How do we do that? How do we make a good sequel? The biggest thing, the thing I see a lot is people don't load, unload, reload the punches properly. So I'll give you an example here. Let's talk about that lead hook, because this is the common one, right? First of all, the hook must be loaded. So I have to have my weight on that front foot, not leaning, just my lower body weight. And then when I throw the hook, I need to unload it by shifting it from the front foot to the back foot. Maybe about 60%, maybe 70, maybe more, right? We don't turn our heads, but we shift our weight, front foot to back foot, right? Once I've done that and thrown the first hook, I need to reload and bring the weight back to the front foot before I throw it again. When I see a lot of times people might unload, and the second punch is just an arm punch. 1, 2, hook, and then the second one is just an arm. Now that's a bad sequel. We want a good sequel. And you might say, well, it kind of takes a long time to throw it, load, unload, reload, right? Well, yeah, you go fast. But even if it takes a little slower this week, I'm okay with that. I'd rather you learn those mechanics, get them down. If we have to cut corners, our punch will still be better for it than if we underdo the mechanics, right? And then sometimes, especially with the hook, is the classic example. People don't unload the hook in the first place. So I'll say 1, 2, hook, and that weight is still on the front foot. Maybe they're leaning forward, maybe the bag feels far away, right? And they're still leaning forward. You don't want that. You want your weight back when the hook lands. If you can't unload it, there's not gonna be much point in reloading. So if your weight's here, you can't really reload, you'll just go even further over to that side. So we wanna make sure that we're unloading those punches first. Before we reload, we're gonna work on that all week long. We're gonna make good sequels. Friday the 13th Part 2s we're gonna make. So get ready to go. Get those thinking caps on. Get those puffy director's pants on. We're making movies. That's how we do it.